Say about this book. First, it was so good. I was on the chapter 6 now and I haven't finished it since now. So, this is okay. So, I'm not going to read the first line because always it's just one book. It was so great. It's like dramatic. It's all in the stuff that I wanted in here. It's so good. So this is the last one, I think. There's no 2022 of this book, but it's so good. So good. So before I buy this book and I see it on Google, it's pretty not like this. It has so many discs, but it's just short, so short. I can read it every day. But it's unlike that older version than this. So hypothetically, I like this. Or maybe that is the newer version. This is the older version. So put it on the comment section below. So I was in the 6th one, so not here. Where am I? Okay, what is the page? 45. So it says here August, so everyone the other side in the region. Oh, I knew this. I have to go now, Chris. Like I said, I can't Mention button it in case you want to call for end of the object. I didn't know when I would be able to use this odd object, but I took it. You never know, maybe handy. Thanks. And nice meeting you, Chris Garcia, which is he's it. Welcome to society, Professor. I don't know why. Kapili winked at me and he was gone. Behind me, Marikit nodded. You know what? Let's go. Just go and meet the Diwata. The what? The lady you want to see, Marikit said. Although I didn't know much of the meaning of words she used, but it seemed familiar. I might have read it in her dad's journal. As we walked outside the lobby, the sunlight temporarily blacked my eyes. No wonder the country was called the tropical country, but like the environment. It's everything. I like it. It's just like, it's fantasy. I like fantasy books. And I was in the chapter 6, and I didn't do halfway of it. It had implicational. Show it to God. Ayaw na, Mami. 54. So it's 54 stories above it. It was so good. It's literally everything I wanted inside the book. Of course. So this is the one that is like, it's like motivating. Let me pause. No. Let me pause the video. So the author said here, it said, okay, this is the story. Writing a novel based on the Philippines meteorology is a difficult yet challenging task to me, and I pursue it finishing because of my interest and passion to know more about the meteorology. The country has one of the difficulties I encountered is explaining about the blah, 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 places to places, region to regions, and island to islands. What? As there are lots of blah blah. You just read the book. I adore this book. It's everything that I wanted in a book. So good. So this is the one. This is the first page of it, the full page. But I'm not going to say. I never thought that I would ever be outside of the guidance office, but there I was sitting on my own as I waited for the counselor to dismiss me from my school rule violation session with her today. Okay, after someone filed something against me, if it wasn't for my identified traitor who mercilessly told the school that I cheated during the history test. Oh my goodness, then I wouldn't be here. Well, about the truth and the lies that I mentioned, my guess was the classmate Diane might have betrayed me by giving wrong answers, or perhaps it was all trap. Okay. As it turned out, I realized I made a big mistake. I sat and watched the passerby walk past me and to the office. The guidance counselor was inside the other room, probably giving me poor remarks on the test that I cheated on. I tried to forget every shallow word that she threw against me and just let them out to my other ear. But it wasn't that easy, and just let them. I opened my phone and plugged my white headset in my ears, hoping that if I couldn't get them off, maybe I could just distract myself. Besides, I couldn't do anything but to wait, even though I had to go home now because today my lone work hectic father will be home early. As I was going around my phone, I stumbled into my gallery and scrolled down to the old photos I had. Some are just a bunch of selfies, landscape photos, stupid stolen shots, and a lot more. It's so good. It's the first page, not really good, but if you put it like, it just hooks you up and want to read more. It's just so good. So good. It's like it doesn't hook you up in the first page, but if you go to like the other page, it's just like you pause for a second. It hooks you up and want to read more. Like yesterday in like I read this on like probably when it's like almost evening, and I read this like into the chapter 4, and it was so good, so good that I'm on chapter 4. It's just like one day chapter 4. Now I did do 2 chapters right now, and one chapter, and I'm going on to the second chapter, the 6th chapter, and I'm so excited for the next one. It's just everything that I wanted in a book. It's like dramatic, happy, and it's so good. Yep. VRJ books. It's so good. Definitely so good. Aray,
10 pounds. Ang bitawan niya, tangay, babaksak na pa.
Ang bigat! Patry nga dalawang kamay.
Hawak ko mabuti, hindi pwede sa tangayan.
Parang ganun naman pala.
Pag hawak mo, tapos baka mabitawan mo yung paa mo. Delikado.
Basag yung paa mo, durog.
Ano ba? Totoo ano ba yan, ma? Totoong albakal? So, at that point, I just really like to read this. I have a couple of books that I didn't like. It's like um this I have to perform at the school, not in a real school. I just video it there. I memorized it when I was looking at the book. It's just so boring. It's ebook, guys. It's so boring every time that happens on the book, and this is so unique. So unique that I'm going to say it again. I read four chapters in one day.
4 chapter?
Chapters. It was so good. I like this book. Probably I'm going to read more, but it's so good.
Push lang ah.
So good. It's like everything that I wanted in a book. Okay, here I have the book that is have a story on it. Like something, it wasn't good. Is it just I didn't like it? When I was a kid, I didn't like it too. I completely understand it. It was not good. It's just like super boring, and I found it really boring that I throw it away in the trash can because I didn't even. It's just like a couple of pages that I can read in a minute, and I just like another day, like 1 week, I threw it away because it's actually boring, and it was pretty short. But on the Bible one, I didn't throw it because it's a great story. It's like the one who written it was so genius. He just like a couple of pages because the real one has so many pages like this thing. But it made it shorter and easier and has like not the difficult words to understand. But this is the easier one. And there's a glossary if you didn't know some Tagalog like aswang and something like a mythical creature. I just really like it. Mythical creature, like it. Every mythical creature movie or something, book, ebook, or it's just on a magazine, I will literally read it. If it's not okay, I'm just going to freak out. I like it. I'm going to be heartbroken of it, cause every time I watch a fantasy movie, I really like it has mythical creature, mythical person. There's a mythical in it, and there's a reason why they fight and something. There's a story, and there's some dramatic, and this is this that I wanted is in this book. It was so good. It was so good. And there's a bit of Filipino in there, so I could understand it. And yeah, the story continues. It's like 99 pesos because it's for sale. This is the picture. You can still see that. And it's fantasy. He has powers too. The boy has powers. So why did the father doesn't want anything to say about his mom, Chris's mom, cause his mom she is an ancient goddess. That means he has the powers too. So that means he's going to fight the one who's going to eat the last moon to destroy the world, which is so good. It was all. Ano mami? Agran. It was so good. So this is the. Okay, you can still see that I spoiler alert you. There's a couple of it that I gave you some pages of it, but it's so good. So good. So this is the other pictures of the celebrities of in the Philippines and all of that stuff. And I watched the 100 Tula para kay Stella and Sid and Ian and what else? This thing, the one has a cursive one. and kita-kita, and that's all. That's all I know that I have watched. I didn't even read it. I just watched it because there's a movie and a book, but I like the book, the movie more. Cause it's like I the Bible one made me fall in love with reading. But at that time, I didn't like reading. It's just like watch on TV and pop it in, put it, and that's all. But I have a big mistake. I literally like this. This is everything I want in the book. It was so good. So good. Like ever. Like ever. It was so good. And if I finish this whole series on this thing, because it's just a one series, this is just a one book, but every here has series. So it's quietly like 45 stories. That means it's series. It's so good. I'm never throwing this away. But if I'm done reading this, hypothetically, I'm going to get 2 more books, but it's not going to like go out on 100. It will be 100 or 95, 91, but do not get out on 100, bro. Okay. I like the Wimpy Kid Meltdown. I read it a couple of months ago and I threw it away. I didn't know why. Because I cannot remember. But I'm going to say 4.5 out of 10. I didn't... 4.5... No. 3. 3. It's just 3. I didn't like it at all. It's quietly pretty short. You can read it at 24 hours. But it was not good at the time. It's just for kids. But the movie of the Wimpy Kids, the Cheese Touch, it was so good. So good. But I can't understand the Meltdown. I have a high expectation of it. Maybe that's the problem. I have so high expectation that when I finished reading the book, it was terrible. It's okay, cute, funny, and for kids and stuff, but it's quietly boring. I found it pretty boring, guys, so I didn't like it so much.